What's going on, guys? Christian here from CK Wraps. Today I'm going to do a walk around video of this Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifolio wrapped in Hexis satin titanium chrome, including the door jambs. The door jam video will be on my website, ckwraps.com. I'll put a link in the top corner and in the description below for you guys. This is a very hard project. It wasn't easy. This vinyl is super hard to use. As my first time using it. I have used satin chrome in the past, but this was like another level of difficulty, okay guys? So it wasn't easy. Got it done. It does look clean. It looks really nice actually. And I'm going to give you a rundown of the actual car itself and explain the details about what I thought about the installation of this actual product here. Now, before we get into it, I want to give a huge thank you to Zach at Scorpion Window Films for supplying me with all my Hexis products. I'll put a link to their website in the description below. I've got two rolls gloss titanium chrome, light blue chrome, satin titanium chrome, which is just used on the Alpha, the Alligator, and the gloss green chrome is coming up for my car. The Alligator I'll use on a cool project. The gloss green chrome will be on my Jeep this week. I'm excited to install. It's going to change it up. It's going to be pretty bright. Look at Christmas ornament coming around this time of year. So that'll be coming up. And I want to give a huge thank you to Animation Logo for my amazing new intro. I hope you guys liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm super happy about it. They did a great job on it. So I'll put a link to their Instagram in the description below as well. Now let's get into the actual car itself. This car is by no means was easy. It's got a lot of details on it. It's got hood vents. It has also a full PPF on it. There's a lot of money invested into what's the wrap that's on this car right now. You know, PPF in itself for a full PPF is around 6-7K. Okay, so that's already 6 or 7 grand right there that I just covered right now with this wrap. Now, what you don't want to do is usually wrap over paint protection film. So some of you were probably asking, because if the paint protection film fails, it's going to make your wrap fail, right? So think about that. There was some lifting at edges and stuff like that of the PPF, so I had to trim some off and trim it back a little bit to make sure it wasn't going to cause any problems. It's not something that I warranty, just so you know, but I did make sure I did my best possible job to ensure that this wrap is going to last. If you don't know what you're doing, I'd advise to probably stay away from doing something like that. The energy level on wrapping over paint protection film is lower than paint as well, okay? We're wrapping over like a rubber material as opposed to having the vinyl stuck on hard paint. So PPF tends to be a little bit more porous than paint. So the energy level is definitely going to be lower. Not only that, we're wrapping plastic over plastic, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Anyways, it should last, it should be good. I've gone over the entire car with a very thorough heat, and I did make sure that I laid into recesses and things like that because this vinyl doesn't really stretch anyways. So I did what I possibly could do. There are some areas on it that they're okay. They could be better. I wish the PPF wasn't there. It takes away from the visual aesthetic of my wrap, my work actually. So I'm unhappy about that part about it because when they did the PPF on the car, they actually plotted out the PPF. None of it's bulked, right? So bulking means that you're going to go over all your edges and go over all your corners and go over the whole thing. While all of the PPF on this car is basically cut off right at the edge, even on the fender flare right here. And I'll bring you guys in so you can see all this stuff. You can see like a ridge underneath the wrap, and it's not straight. It's all crooked and weird because they don't put the PPF like perfect on there. That's one of my gripes about PPF installation when it's not done nicely. You can't see it. That's the thing. So when shops do install paint protection film, it's clear over a glossy car. So you can't actually really see like where the PPF is. You can kind of, but if you look close enough, but you can't really see where the PPF is. So you don't have to get full coverage because customer doesn't really see that. It does leave areas vulnerable to stone chipping still, like the edges of the fender right over here. They're all vulnerable. The front edge of the hood is actually covered, which is good. There's other areas here and here, like the doors and stuff like that. None of the edges are wrapped around. Okay, so there is an edge on every single panel, going around every single panel. Not only that, like the hood vent area is like a mess because I had to use seams, and then I had to use seams for the vents, and then they had to plot out the PPF and leave areas without PPF. So there's like all these lines. It's like a jigsaw puzzle of lines, like a railroad crossing. I don't know. It's just crazy. It's a crazy mess. I'm not happy about that at all. It actually drives me nuts. But it is what it is. It wouldn't make any sense to remove the PPF off the car, especially since it was done about 3 weeks ago or about a month ago. Sorry, it was done 3 weeks before the customer brought the car in. Now, normally I wouldn't take it on, but hey, whatever, it still looks good, just not perfect. And the customer was very aware of that. Now, this film right here is very thick, okay? I'm gonna show you guys before we get into this. Very thick vinyl, okay? This is, you can see it's just standing out there like that. This is about the same thickness as paint protection film. This is not a very thin film at all. It doesn't stretch, so it does not stretch at all, really. And when you add heat, it still barely stretches. It distorts very easily, so if you stretch it too much or heat it too much, you could burn it, and that distorts it. And it also can tear very easily as well. So once you start tearing it, oh yeah, it goes crazy. Like, and for how thick this is, you'd be surprised. Like, you would think that it would actually be more structurally stable. Well, it's not. So this is actually very, very hard vinyl to use, but this is more or less what it is up close in person, okay? You can see what this is. So very, very, very thick stuff. Once you dent it or crumple it or crease it or anything like that, it's done. This piece is damaged. It's not healing like a regular vinyl is. Anyways, let's get into the car and we'll have a walk around. All right, guys, let's have a walk around of the actual car itself. I'm not gonna bring you too close in because I don't want you to see where I did all my seams and inlays and stuff like that. All that stuff's for the website. I did the sensors in gloss black. You might notice there's a black dot on it because the film is so thick that it will actually inhibit the sensor. And you don't want that. You don't want the customer going nuts because of that. It can also affect blind spot sensors and things like that. So let's check out the PPF here, okay? Now look at the line. It's all wonky and wavy, okay? This is the PPF underneath the wrap. It's not perfect. It goes up, goes down here, and then it goes up again. It goes down here, and it kind of stays down for a while. Around the actual emblem here. And in case you're wondering what the 4-leaf clover is for, it's for back in the racing days. Some of you may know this, some of you may not. We had to do some research on it because I had no idea what it was for either. It does look really good though, this car, okay? It looks really, really good. But the rear bumper was tough. Didn't take me too long to do though. The rear diffuser is plastic welded on, okay? So you cannot separate it. I want to separate it because it would have been better to wrap it. But the issue with this also is that they oversprayed the plastic diffuser, like 2 areas was like right by these reflectors here in the corners. They oversprayed that plastic diffuser with red, and it was a pain in the butt. So I had to actually go and wrap over a little bit more. See it? So there's a little tiny bit of red right there. I didn't get all of it, but I got most of it. So it looks really good. One more thing with the front. The front bumper was crazy hard, guys. It took me like 9 hours to do that thing. So just so you know, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of work. Let's get into here. Door jamb. Okay. Door jamb is all wrapped. Back of the door and the actual frame and everything itself inside. That's all done in one piece, all inside the door there. And then the only areas I wasn't able to wrap here were the where the little screws go. That's about it though. That was a lot of work itself, and that video will be on the website. I need to find that inner body line. Found it. That's what we're looking for. Now, the door handle. The door handle has a seam going all the way down the middle. This button had to get wrapped. And then I had to do a gloss black inlay where the keyhole area is because the satin chrome, I tried doing it with the satin chrome, it wouldn't conform in nicely, first of all. And then second of all, this seam looked terrible in there, so gloss black it is. Let's get into the actual back here. This is cool. So even the hatch, guys, I even wrapped the entire hatch. All this. This is a special request. This is not a normal thing. All that's all done. Crazy, right? Let's get into here. The rear bumper was tough, but it wasn't impossible. It was a lot easier than the front one. The fender flares, again, there's like split PPF in here and stuff like that. It just looks weird. It doesn't look nice. This is like the downfall to wrapping over the PPF. This door jamb, also done. All that. Same thing. mirrors didn't have to be wrapped, which is great. And then I don't even want to show you guys the hood because I'm not happy with all the lines of the PPF. I mean, why not? Whatever, I'll just show it to you. All right, so here it goes. You can see it. You can see all of the PPF lines. That's PPF, there's PPF there, there's PPF there, there's PPF, that's a PPF line, there's a PPF line here, there's another one there, another one there, there's another one there. And it's on all sides, it's everywhere. It's a mayhem of PPF all over the place. And lines, is what it is. All right, guys, so that's the walk around of the actual Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifolio, wrapped in Hexis satin titanium chrome with Avery obsidian black for the door jambs. Avery's a little bit easier to use, nice, and the black is actually quite nice for the door jambs. So it worked out really well as far as all that goes. Requires a lot of attention and care when you're actually installing this. You have to know what you're doing. All the doors were removed, like entirely off the car. All the hinges, all the bolts, all that stuff was all removed off the car. Then everything has to go back on, gets all lined up again. Did this myself. And yeah, so it was a ton of work, guys. Again, very difficult vinyl to use. Not something I would recommend. Probably the hardest vinyl wrap I've ever used. Putting it up there with like holographic chrome. So it was a very challenging wrap to do. And I had to pull like I had a jet pack on me to get the vinyl around the front bumper. Like, it was crazy hard. I pulled with all of my might because the heat can only heat the vinyl up so much before you burn it, first of all. Second of all, it's just such a big piece on the front bumper that you need to, by the time you're done heating an area, the other area is cooled. So you can get like infrared heaters and stuff like that to help you up. I use a heat gun. I don't find that much of a difference between the two, so I stick with a heat gun. Anyways, it worked out. We got the job done. It looks great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, I hope this video was interesting for you guys to watch, and I'm looking forward to doing more videos for you guys. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate it very much. Take care.